the special abilities that Warlocks get.
And we are live, at least mostly alive. You know, it's questionable at times. We are back once again. Quick recap: after 2 long years of real world play, the group finally dealt with the original big bad Victor and Azir, with Frick paying 30 plot point over 30 plot points to literally crush Victor with a single blow. It was amazing, and I hope you're watching. You went back and watched the animation I made, because that was just a lot of fun.
The animation was awesome.
Yes, but that was in game. That was a couple weeks ago. You've had some, had an opportunity to rest, maybe check up on some of those, some of the information that you took from Azir's spirit from your sword. But we're still waiting to see if Kyle's actually going to show up or not, because if not, I'll just tell you what he did, because it was too good to let it slide without being commented on. But Janja, you've been kind of lying low. You were practicing with a magical trinket that you own.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know you wanted to keep most of this hush hush because you are one of those annoying players that keeps everything secret and makes me keep it secret also. But I'm taking it you're kind of like in a small village, someplace that has enough access to the newly reemerging trade via boat, so you're able to actually have a place with food and drink. And while you've been, practicing with your particular item, there have been a new ship comes in, and you notice that they are putting up some flyers. And the reason this is particularly noticeable is because one day they're putting up, some notes on the board, and you hear a little girl, I say little, like a, 13, 15-year-old girl, shouting out, "Hey, you covered up mine." And these two, gruff sailors are just like, "Shove off, kid." And they just, walk off laughing about the fact. And she kind of huffs, goes over, takes hers down and puts it back up somewhere it can be seen.
Aw. I'm gonna go walk over and ask her, just look at the poster
Okay.
and see what
I can just barely hear you, by the way, but you said you went over to look at the poster?
Yes.
Okay. The one that the sailors put up, that's you. Is your name, your description. If you weren't wearing that mask, there, people in the town might have been selling you out already, because there's a decent reward for information, just information about you. The one that the young girl was putting up, well, that was Rihanna. Not her name, but a really, really good picture of her.
Where was this at?
Oh, it's a small village. I don't think you're hanging out with Janja right now, so you don't know anything about this. But yeah, it's a pretty decent picture of Rihanna.
What is the?
It's another missing, information reward for information type of thing. There's been several of them, since the world broke in half. A lot of people are looking for people. Most of them don't offer rewards, though. So, people just kind of quit paying attention after a while, unless there's something really motivating them to, look into it.
Okay.
Andy, I would have liked to have tried to go through some of Victor's books and see if there's anything useful in them.
Okay. I will tell you the same thing that I was telling Kyle when he did that. Make me an investigation check. or just straight intelligence? Okay, that's not bad. Oh, one of the books was definitely a spell book, but it had a lot of like 2 or 3 pages was just straight up random gibberish. Uh, After that, it was spells. Uh, Michael held on to that one because he thinks he's got access to, you know, he thinks that his bard training means he's, an actual arcane scholar or something. It's hard to tell with him, but he's pretty sure he's going to be able to get something. The rest of the notes, they were written in code, but with that particular check, you were able to decipher at least this wasn't a complex code because for the most part, it wasn't complex notes. It was a few things about the possible location of the temple in the Swamp of Death or the dungeon in the Swamp of Death. It tends to the wording changes up based on which records he's using as a reference. There was something about a wish granting genie, but there wasn't enough information to really go on. And then, like I said, Michael's like, "Oh, I know somebody. I'm going to try to get this stuff looked at," and he's going to take most of it if you don't object.
Okay, my thought was I was just going to look to see what it was, and if there was stuff I didn't know, I was going to see about trying to do basically the same thing, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, he was convinced he had somebody who could help. And if he ever shows up, we can find out more about that. I'm convinced at this point he's not going to be here. So I'll tell you guys what he did a little later because it's just funny. Yes, Trevor, we know you object, but unfortunately they walked off with the notes. Because you were heading back to Nest Village, weren't you?
Yes.
Okay. And you were all like, the world is safe. I'm going to get married.
There we go. That was my plan.
Okay. And like I said, it's been a couple of weeks. You were going about, getting everything set up as much as you could. Like the first frost was starting to hit. So obviously, getting what food stuff they could was taking priority. The wedding was going to be small. Again, because there's just not. Although Christina was going to try to make a cake.
She's adorable.
Yeah. She did make joke about sending you out, but the bakery got demolished. So she just says she'll bake the cake.
She's officially been hanging out with Angela too much.
That's who I was thinking of. Angela, not Christina. Christina's your wife or fiance. I'm getting the names mixed up. Yes, Angela was going to bake the cake. And she promised that she had enough, and she was holding on some stuff for special occasions. And this sounded like a special occasion to her.
Aw, she likes me.
Yeah.
I think.
So that's why it is a very big surprise when the day before nobody seems to be doing anything at all related to your wedding. And in fact, when you're...
I mean, I kind of only expect there was just 3 of us working on it.
Well, the rest of the village was, chipping in where they could. It's still a small village. That means that everybody's looking for any excuse to do anything interesting.
Any excuse to get drunk and celebrate?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
After all, it's been a hard 6 months.
True.
So, any excuse to celebrate joy is a good thing. Except that, when you come out on this day, nobody is saying a word to you. They kind of like nod at you. You're still a paladin. Are you walking around in your armor? I mean, you got like your holy symbol, I imagine.
Yeah.
So, you're still recognizable. Like paladins never really seem to shut it all off. They've always got their holy symbol out.
Mm.
And it's actually...
My holy symbol is basically Zariel's tear.
Okay, that works. But anyway, Angela actually walks right up to you. It's like, hello, sir. Welcome to the village of Nest. I didn't know we had any newcomers today. We didn't see a boat. Well, except for the burning one. Yes, there is a burning, smoldering pirate ship offshore. The the remains of the pirates who came to the village of Ness. This was before you got there. Their remains are actually staked outside. Randolph makes it clear you do not come in here and cause trouble. So when Angela's like, those were our last visitors, and as you can see, security around here is very stringent, but I promise we're actually nice people as long as, you know, you don't break any of the rules.
You feeling okay, Angie?
She gets very confused by that and says, I'm sorry, do I know you from the old days? There was just so much going on, and then the world ended. I'm afraid I didn't get to, it was always a hectic time back then.
We've known you for like 12 years.
And she's, just gets that look.
Can I make an insight check on her?
Yeah, go ahead.
Or like some kind of arcana check or something?
Do you have Arcana proficiency?
I'm not proficient in it.
Okay, then just make an insight check.
Okay.
She is being very sincere in that she's trying to remember where she remembers you from. She just says, I am so sorry. I did a lot of traveling with my dad. It's not like I didn't want to ever come off as that kind of nobility, but I'm really sorry. Where do I know you from?
So I haven't changed my spells from our fight, so I still have Dispel Magic prepared.
Okay. Do you want to cast that?
I'm trying to figure out a way to do it without freaking her out. So I'll just like make pleasant conversation.
Okay.
And just be like, I'll try to cover it up with like, may I give you the blessing of Zariel to get you through your day.
And once you say those words, she gets this look of shock and horror on her face, leans down to her daughter and whispers, go get Mr. Nestor and hurry. And she looks back at you. We're not looking for any trouble here, but I will warn you, we are protected by a paladin of Bane. If you've come starting trouble, you will wind up like those pirates out there, I swear.
Randolph's my older brother.
He doesn't have a brother. And now she whips out a wand and is holding it towards you. If you leave now, there won't be any trouble. And now people are starting to gather around because Angela is usually fairly level-headed when it doesn't come to obnoxious bards. And these are people you've been hanging around for a little while. You were known by name. But no one's coming to your defense. Everyone has this, kind of disturbed look because, again, Angela has more or less been the de facto leader around here because she kind of knew the most about managing a village.
Mm-hmm. Again, I'm not here to cause trouble.
We do not want to have any dealings with the Archdevil.
She's not an Archdevil anymore.
And everybody starts murmuring about that. Like, we just want to live a peaceful life. But like I said, kind of gesturing to the smoldering ship, we do not tolerate anyone coming in and disrupting what we are building here.
What is going on?
And after a couple of minutes, comes up the battle armored figure of Randolph Nestor, who will march right up to you. And you can still see, even his battle armor usually comes with a helm of terror, which means glowing eyes are staring at you. But he just comes right up, hand on his sword, but the sword isn't drawn. And Angela just says, he said he's a paladin of Zariel.
The redeemed Zariel. She's back on Mount Celestia where she belongs.
Your kind would say anything. Leave now, or I will make an example of you too.
What? I'll summon Freya and leave, I guess.
Okay.
And then use sending on one of my friends that I know is around.
Sure. Who do you want to send a message to?
Well, I would say Kyle, but he's not here, so I'll just
I'm pretty sure I can
Rihanna.
answer for Michael in this particular case.
I'll message Rihanna.
Okay.
One sec. Hold it. Sorry.
Okay, I just thought you were sending secret messages because you know how much I hate that.
Backdoor.
No, you shouldn't. Sorry, our food just arrived.
Okay.
But I'm pretty much just gonna message her and explain that something weird is going on. Nobody in the village knows who I am, or they'd still think they still think that Zariel's in the hells. Something weird, magic-y wise is going on, and I don't understand it.
So you sent a message basically saying that nobody knows who you are. They think Zariel is still in the hells, and you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay. It'll take a minute before you get a response, but eventually I'll respond and say, very funny, Trevor. I told you we were coming for the wedding. We'll be there in time. Because she thinks you're just being weird.
And I can't use sending again.
One thing I will say about all this is that remember Zariel has been a legendary trader to Mount Celestia for a couple of 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't exactly had a whole lot of time to go around and correct that misconception. But otherwise, yeah, all of that happened just the way Rihanna definitely got your message, and that was definitely her that replied.
But like I said, Michael was likely with me because, well, he goes everywhere I go. So I will actually, after we talk about it a little bit, I'm assuming that Michael would probably send her a message
Yes,
back.
he would relay any messages you ask
and ask her, and so I'm assuming Michael would send a message to you saying, "Is this for real? And do you need our help?"
Yes, and yes.
Okay, then I suppose that means that Michael and Rihanna will find some way to make their way to wherever it is that she's at.
Okay. Yeah, you can.
I mean, sorry.
Yeah, everybody can, basically pick a location to meet up at. Frick is probably back with his dwarven brothers, telling them, the legend of the Macho Man. So his He's a little bit harder to get to show up, but
That's fine.
everybody else can meet up. Like I said, some small trading villages are starting to pop up. Things are still expensive because everything's being delivered by the people who are willing to bring a boat in. But there's definitely travel happening again. There is some commerce.
Okay, and so where would we be on your map?
I don't really have the only villages I've had were Nest and Emberfield. So
I can meet over by the crypts of Dwight or whatever this little peninsula area is.
yeah, there's probably someplace around there. So we can just say that you find a small village.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh, also before I leave that place, the little poster, or that poster that had.
That would be very convenient to the ongoing story. Yes, I agree.
So yeah, I rip it off and I head on.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna say it's at the end of 2 weeks. You all agreed on a place to meet up, and you are meeting up there. I think I might have a random tavern I can use for a map. Here we go. Just a second. I'll bring this over for you guys to see. Okay. This is it's been fixed up nicely since, things got all smashy. So you're in a small, meet up.
I just want to point out there's a dragon head on a table over here, and it's amazing.
Oh, I see it. That's funny.
Yep.
Okay. I'll just be like waiting in a corner seat with a drink.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit by the dragon head because why not?
Okay. I don't know who got there first, but I'm just gonna say that Michael and I, if we got there after Trevor, then we'll walk in and just kind of scan the room and see Trevor and walk over and eat.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of people in here at this particular time of day, so it's really just the bartender, maybe a daughter that's helping them cook and serve food.
Okay.
So yeah, you can all show up. Michael at this point would have been a little bit dejected when he came back after bringing his notes to somebody, and he will explain to whoever cares enough to listen that he brought that book with the tongues on it and all the notes to Dwight, who instantly disintegrated everything.
Well, balls.
Well, I mean...
Yeah, because Michael was reading through the spell book, and there's some words that appeared to him that congratulated him on, his victory. Something about fools getting lucky. That was probably, just snark. And then he wrote a message back, but nothing came. So he brought it to Dwight, and as soon as Dwight saw it, he's like, put it on that table, and then poof, he disintegrated it, and then he didn't tell me anything except something about the god of lies. And well, then I asked him what mask had to do with this, and he kicked me out. Something about said he didn't like me. So obviously, that was just not true.
Well, I'm sorry, dear, but you have a tendency to rub people I know, but you have a tendency to rub people the wrong way, Michael. I'm sorry.
I told him I'd send Trevor next time.
No.
I didn't mean to do that in the chat, by the way.
That's fine.
I thought you were starting a bar fight.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did we eventually? I mean, we got a hold of Jonja also.
Jonja should be there.
Okay. I wasn't sure because nobody said it specific.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael.
I can see it on my iPad, but not on the computer. It's the weirdest thing.
We could always start screen sharing, but I don't want you guys to see everything on my side of the screen.
Well, why not?
Because I have secrets.
All the DM notes are.
Yes, I do sometimes use the GM layer, to remind myself where things are. Because I forget all the time.
Well, you have like 40 different maps.
No, you forget things, Andy? That never happens.
Shut up before I remember that you're all trapped in a force cage that couldn't be dispelled. I'll keep
Actually,
you there
it
for
was
2 weeks on this fight.
Hey, we did it, so.
Yeah, I know,
You
but
can't change 32 plot points.
no, even I won't go against that much of a plot point. No, you won. You were just stuck in a force cage for 3 hours afterwards.
No,
So,
38 plot points.
so, Michael, if you were reading through this book and something sent you a message, that is not a good sign.
Well, no, that's why I brought it to Dwight, because clearly Victor was using it as an anchor, and I wanted to figure out how to get him disconnected from it, and then he turned it all to ash.
Kyle, you need to stop using You know the saying
Michael.
about the word assumptions? What is that saying about assumptions? You're a bard. You should know.
Well, yeah, but clearly
when you
I had
assume
this right.
something, you make an ass out of you and me.
Why did you You know, I should have just destroyed that book to begin with, but no.
Well, Dwight already did it, and we didn't get to learn anything because he didn't tell
We
me
don't
anything
need-
about it.
Hey,
We literally need to know zero information out of that book. Because look what it did to Victor.
guys,
Yes.
Michael, how long ago did Dwight destroy this book?
In your time, that would have been last week.
Okay. And how long ago was it, Trevor, that people forgot who you were?
2 weeks?
No, for you, that would have been about 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
2 days ago. Okay. Like 2-3 days ago.
Do you guys think there's some sort of connection between that maybe Victor did something to us and something in that book, when it was destroyed, it erased who we were?
Michael slams his fist on the table. Of course! He had all of our lives connected to that book.
Well, my own brother doesn't even know who I am, so.
Yeah.
Then why do we know who you are?
I don't know. I'm not good at I don't know this magic stuff.
Oh, I had training.
I've tried.
It was the book.
I've tried communing, but
he starts sending. You hear him as he's like, "Dwight, we need that book back. It had all of our memories." Oh, this is Michael. You're good friends with.
I smack Michael. Shush.
We both hit him at the same time. Stop it.
I feel like this is very much what Kyle would be doing right now, too.
You guys, if there's any way for us to find Learned back in Wildem.
I mean, I actually know where he is.
Oh, well, then I think we should seek him out because I think he might be able to tell us something. He seems to know a lot.
When I walk up and sit next to you guys.
Hey, John, just staying out of trouble? I'll take silence as a no.
You haven't tried to, take anything that wasn't yours, have you? I just kind of wink at him.
Ha ha.
I thought we were past that.
Oh, we are. I just thought that, it's good to always remind somebody of what they've done and to not fuck with us.
Michael turns, but don't you take stuff from people like all
Shush.
the time?
And I put my hand on his mouth. Shush.
He's like,
So you take stuff from people all the time, right?
Duh, that's what I do.
But I don't. An assassin.
But I'm a very talented woman. I can do a lot of things.
So can I.
So that's why Michael likes you.
Not one of them.
So wait, John, you're a talented woman? I thought you were not a woman.
I'm not.
I'm confused.
Wait, what happened? What did
the young girl, is getting ready to come over and take your order, and she hears all this, just turns around and walks away.
Sorry.
She's not scared. She's just very confused and decides she'll let you figure out your own gender issues.
I mean, I'm pretty confident in who I am. John, I think there's a spell, like, if you need help.
No.
Okay.
Don't you dare.
Why? What's wrong with women?
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, I have not let go of Michael's mouth.
I assume
I know better.
That's why he will talk like this until further notice.
And then I move on the other side where Michael might be. I don't know. I just...
Since when have Trevor and Rihanna gotten along so well?
I don't know.
The
The world broke. Anything can happen. Yeah, so did you say that you knew where Learned was, Trevor?
Yeah, I went and saw him once all of this crap began.
Is he still in Wildem? Or what's left of it?
I mean, he was there, what, 2 weeks ago, Andy? Or
it was longer than that for you now, but yes, his bar, the Laughing Jackal, is mostly intact and in the same location.
Yeah, I mean, everything was still there.
Michael refused to go there, but...
Well, that's where we're going.
Michael, you can sit on the porch. Or, better yet, you can go check on Bugger and make sure he hasn't blown up the castle yet, or what's left of it.
Okay, that's a good idea.
I'll take my hand off his mouth.
He says he's willing to do that, but he does not like anybody going to see Learned, because Learned doesn't owe you anything, and he might sell you all out.
Michael, he already has all the information on us anyway. And I trust
Andy does
him
not
more
have
than
a good defense, because he never understood Michael suddenly turning on Learned. He used to...
Trevor neither.
Actually, I guess he never really went to Learned for much information.
I mean, in all actuality, Learned knows a lot about us. I mean, he's seen me look ass naked with just a shield, so...
What? That was
I
Michael.
remember that. Oh.
I don't know
Wait,
if you
why
told
do
him
I
that
know
story.
about that?
Oh,
wait, am I metagaming? Sorry.
Maybe I thought I told you this story.
I thought you told everybody.
I thought I did too, because I was messing with that stupid shield and all my stuff disappeared. Except for the shield. So I walked. And this was after he had offered me money for it.
Out
So
of
I walked.
character. Sorry, Gary.
Sorry, I'm just remembering the way that story really went.
But
I know how it went.
I like it. I think it's really hilarious out of character that Trevor would know, but Michael doesn't. Just saying.
Yeah, this is Andy
funny.
not knowing what Kyle knows. And...
Well, I'm pretty sure everybody who was part of our little family there in Wildem knew this story, because I think I showed up back at the house either butt naked or
no,
in
you snuck
something
into the house before anybody saw you.
That's what it was.
And then you just went back out after you had your hat of disguise.
Yeah.
And he saw through the illusion somehow. But anyway, let's see. Yeah, Michael has a transport via plant, so he can bring you back to what's left of Wildem. And I am not going to change maps just yet because I don't have the Broken City on there.
We're going back into a bar anyway, so.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can we now order? Or is the
Well,
woman
I
still
figure
alive?
you've ordered
yeah.
something,
Yeah.
so grand total 5 gold, and you pay off your bar tab here.
If John has a specific meal, I want to hear it.
I just didn't know.
Okay.
Because she just went away from us, so I didn't know if she came back or if she's just less.
Oh yeah,
These people are
it's just that when she
terrifying. I'm not
walked
gonna
up,
say
you were
that.
having a weird conversation. She decided to let you have it.
And I'll cover our tab.
Okay.
Flynn, stay over there, please.
Oh, there was one thing I forgot, Rihanna.
I forgot.
Yes.
Sometime during the 2 weeks, you went to sleep wherever, probably in the mansion, so you had the nice comfortable bed. But as soon as your eyes close, you find yourself in an odd looking room. It's mostly beige walls. There is a poster on one of the walls that has like a person on a tightrope carrying some odd weights, and below it says success or oblivion. There's a desk, and there's a demon sitting behind it. He's got small spectacles on his pointy nose, going through some files. Looks at you, Miss Letress Trollop. Kind of looks at you.
Pardon me? What did you call me?
Sorry.
It's
Something happened.
the file here has your name as Letress Trollop. I realize that some of you tieflings like to take descriptive names. I'm not one to judge. That's not my problem.
I think you have me mistaken for someone else.
Kind of looks you've been a warlock for a little over 1 year to the Dark Lord.
Yeah.
Assassin. Had really, you didn't get too involved in the whole business with Zariel, but you were in the vicinity, I see. I'm purple skin, horns. I believe I have the right person. This is your review.
My my review.
Yes. You have requested the Dark Lord's personal intervention at least 5 times. He's going through a very short list and says, but you have done absolutely nothing since you have obtained your powers.
Now, come on, that's not true.
Oh, well, then please enlighten me. What have you accomplished?
I cause chaos everywhere I go. Is that not what he enjoys? I mean, he told me that he wanted me to cause mischief.
He's going through the list again. This is relatively petty stuff. You were doing nicely at converting one soul. You haven't sacrificed anyone to his name. But then one a bard named Mitchell. You're doing okay at influencing him and bringing him more under our sway. Getting him to kill an innocent was a nice touch. But then you let him become a Nephilim. You do understand we want more people under his influence, not their influence, he says, pointing up.
Okay. Well, I haven't really had much of an opportunity to be able to do anything very large. I have tried. And things happen that make it very difficult. I mean, I had plans in Wildom, and then the world blew up.
Mm-hmm. So, failure. He just makes a little note.
Who the hell's Mitchell?
He just kind of looks down. Former human bard.
His name's Michael, not Mitchell.
He kind of makes a small notation.
And my name is not Latrice or Letris. My name's Rihanna.
It's like, I'll just put that under a preferred name, Rihanna Trollop. Like, Miss Trollop.
Trollop, really? You're calling me a trollop?
That's the name in the file. He turns around and shows it to you. Do you speak Abyssal? Or do you read Abyssal?
Yes. Hold on. No. Just
Okay.
Infernal.
Well, then in that case, he turns the paper around, and it just has some characters that you don't recognize. Like,
I don't know what that says.
okay, illiterate too. Great. I don't know what the Dark Lord was thinking, but who am I to question his wisdom? Miss Trollope,
He was.
the point is that you have accomplished absolutely nothing under his name. You have garnered no followers for him. The mischief you are so proud of is relatively minor stuff, and you repeatedly ask for more help. I must say, I am not impressed.
Well, I was working on some stuff in Village not too long back. I was assuming a different identity, and I was working to either ruin, bring down, or convert the people that were being horrible to the townsfolk of this village.
And how did that go?
Again, things came up, and I had to leave.
Mm-hmm. So, lack of focus and prioritization issues. We are actually rather interested in this Nephilim, the conversion of his soul into what it with that divine spark. If we could get him under the Dark Lord's sway, that would be quite a boon.
Well, I mean, he basically follows me anywhere I go.
Well, we don't care about his physical presence. We care about having his soul in our actual control. You do have the ability. You could just sacrifice him, ritually sacrifice him. That would help us to obtain it. That would probably be the quickest way, because from the notes I was given, it's almost impossible to obtain him now that he has that divine influence.
I'm sure with some time and the right words, I can probably draw him away from that.
He's just kind of looking back at that very short list of accomplishments. It's like, well, we'll just have to see how things go at your next review. And with that, you are suddenly back in your room.
The hell is going on?
Okay, now we are heading back, in the present day, back over to Wildem. I'll just bring us over to the world map because at least I do have a small. The City of Ruins is pretty close to what we have for a map of the city. There are still large chunks left. Well, chunks being the operative word to describe it. So 2 of you were heading over, I guess maybe 3 of you if Jonja wanted to go talk to Learned also.
To Learned.
Yeah, let's go to Learned.
Okay.
Man, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just tired of constantly running back and forth across this goddamn world.
Same. I was actually about to retire and settle down, but nope.
So you go into the Laughing Jackal. It's, slightly emptier, but there's still Learned in the corner. As always, he seems to just be reading a book, doesn't even seem that shocked when you're there. And he just offers you a seat and says, I do apologize, I'm not able to offer you a drink this time. We're going through some staffing issues, what with everybody dying and moving away.
Gee, I hadn't noticed. So, we kind of need your help, and I'm not really sure what you want in exchange, but we have some questions, and we're hoping that either you know or know how to find the answers.
That's usually a safe bet.
So, remember Victor?
No, just nod.
You probably already know that he's gone, correct?
Well, he vanished some time ago.
He's
Oh,
dead,
no,
she means.
he's dead. Yeah. We finally got him.
Actually, I think it's pretty fair to say that Frick got him.
Okay, yeah, well, we were all there. It was an ongoing fight, and yes, Frick dealt the death blow.
If you want to elaborate, he will listen.
Oh, nah, it's not
Okay.
not important. I mean, I'll just kind of, tell him this, like, yeah, Azir was there also, that's why we went, and just happened to be a bonus, and we got them both, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so, after he's caught up, so we took his books, his spell books, and his notes and stuff, and we were going to try to see if there's anything in there that would be at all useful.
I wanted to destroy them, but nobody ever asked my opinion about these things.
So yeah, so Michael was reading through it, and I guess he got a written congratulations from the book. We knew that this book was used as an anchor for his soul or whatever. So he took it to this guy. I wasn't with him. And as soon as he showed up with them, this guy destroyed all of these books and tomes on the spot.
I'll explain Dwight to him.
Okay.
Okay.
And like not too long after that, Trevor had an interesting occurrence, and I'll let Trevor explain.
Pretty much back in our new home, woke up one morning, nobody knows who I am. Pretty sure my own brother was going to kill me because he didn't know who I was. There's like this whole memory change, loss. I don't know. I'm not good at this magic shit.
So I guess what we're wondering is, do you have any idea if those books somehow had some sort of a connection or some power over Trevor that caused this? Because none of the rest of us have experienced this.
Clarification question, and he will ask you to describe any of that book that Michael said was writing back to him.
I let Rihanna take this one because I didn't know about that.
Yeah. I'll just tell him that I don't, out of person as Carrie, I don't know all those details. But I'm going to assume that since
Rihanna
Michael
could probably
and Rihanna are
pretty easily describe
probably
the
knows
way
what's
the-
going.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I figure it's like he tells her everything anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll explain what happened.
Okay. Yeah, because like you looked in the book, it had 4 dried tongues in the corners, several pages of just insane gibberish that was written over top. It's like, if you gave a madman a pencil and 3 pages of paper, he just kept writing until he was writing on top of himself. And then spells that meant nothing to you guys because you're not wizards. He'll just kind of nod and say, if that book is what I suspect it was, it would have absolutely no connection to Trevor whatsoever.
Well, good and boo.
Would you know any of anything that would cause that?
Well, and this is working strictly off theory, mind you, but unless someone casts modified memory over an entire settlement, no.
Is that possible?
In theory, yes.
In theory.
A lot of things are, it would take someone incredibly powerful or able to just individually cast a spell, because I am personally unaware of anyone who can cast mass modify memory.
I mean, I've had my memory affected before. I don't remember how it was fixed, but I don't know if Viserius did.
Usually, there are spells that can undo it. Greater restoration styles, spells. But again, what you're describing would have been an incredibly powerful mage.
I look at Trevor and I'm like, who did you piss off?
I mean, I'm not a soldier anymore, so I don't know.
Wait,
I mean, it couldn't have been Victor because he's dead, and if it was Victor, wouldn't it have happened when he died? I've been home for a good, week, Andy?
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since he's died. And yeah, you were home for over a week. It was
literally the day we were like actually supposed to get married. Yay!
Damn.
And honestly, Zariel's too busy for me to be like, hey, what's up with this? I don't really want to bother her with it.
This is more curiosity, and if your information on Victor is correct, I am certainly in your debt. So I'll just ask, why wouldn't you ask Zariel? You are her champion on this plane, are you not?
Fair enough.
I mean, you've got a better chance of getting her help than I do from my patron because apparently I'm.
Yeah, we still gotta talk about that. Well, I mean, we're recruiting.
It is possible, and this would clear up, our current imbalance. But I can attempt to contact other planes and retrieve this information. But it is a complex spell, and it would take me some time to set it up.
I feel like we would really owe you after that one.
Can you do you have any proof of Victor's demise?
I mean, he kind of turned to dust after he died. His books were destroyed. Can you read memories? Like, go in and see somebody's memory?
Andy does not remember what his spell list is, so we're just going to say that, yes, with your permission, we'll say that he's able to go in and see the memory from your point of view.
I'll totally volunteer. I'm like, go ahead.
Okay.
Jump in there.
So he gets the front row seat where we all get splattered with a Victor?
It is, yeah. But this this knowledge is sufficient for him. He says that he will, again, he'll give you the choice. He can either owe you a fairly big favor, or he can attempt to contact other planes. That's if you want to try to reach out to Zariel first, because he has to cast a ritual spell to accomplish it. But it's the same thing he did for you, Rihanna. You get to ask like 5 yes or no questions. It's not perfect responses, but
yeah. Hey,
who would we try to contact? Ariel's plane?
Well, when he contact other planes, you can try to focus on, if you have a connection to a specific person, you can sometimes contact them. But if you retain your sanity, you get truthful answers.
So this other plane, does this include like deceased people from our plane?
Not exactly. It's usually a figure of power.
Okay. Well, I have nobody, so I'm thinking that maybe Trevor, you ought to try to get a hold of Azariel.
I suppose and this is just kind of him thinking out loud. I suppose it is possible to modify the spell, but it would take someone with arcane training to attempt something like that.
I'm still getting used to my divine training.
Would a bard classify as arcane training?
That leaves us with a question, Michael. Were you willing to go talk to Learned?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So we didn't send him to go babysit Bugger.
Yeah, we just
Yeah.
assumed you didn't want to go talk to him.
Yeah, we didn't think you'd want to be there,
I
so
will
we sent
say
you.
that he is willing to work with whoever is, will offer their. I guess anyone who wants to work with him, he will attempt to alter the ritual, and you'll all put in sort of a little bit of your own willpower to help Trevor get a more direct and more meaningful answer than just yes or no questions. But again, he will stress that this hasn't really been tried before, and he's just using knowledge that he has gained to try to do something new. And the spell by itself ran the risk of driving him insane. So there
Learn it or me?
is obviously not safe. But we'll all learn something new regardless.
Oh, I can think of worse
Hey,
things.
Kyle, real quick. We got a message from Trevor that something weird was happening, and so we went and met him and we talked. Now we're back in Wildom talking to Learned to figure out why an entire village completely forgot who Trevor is.
Including Randolph.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah. So if you're all willing to join this ritual, anyone who wants out, let me know, because you're all going to need to, you're basically going to need to pass an arcane skill test, which means I'll ask you all to make a wisdom roll. You can add whatever proficiency you feel is going to aid. Just so you know, I don't think survival is going to help you while attempting to cast magical spells. But Arcana or Wisdom is basically what I'll ask you to roll. Anyone involved is at risk.
Just quick question.
Sure.
Okay, so Arcana is intelligence based. So,
yes.
So
Arcana, if you have magical talents that you can offer up, and Wisdom if you're just there being supportive, I guess I'd say.
Well, I mean, I can do some magics, but I don't know if that really qualifies.
My Arcana is a +1.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can roll an intelligence roll.
Like I said, this is going to take them a little bit of time to set up. So you've got, let's say you've got a couple hours to kind of think about it. He would suggest, like I said, you're going to be adding whatever power you can to it. So, like I said, for some people, that's just, being there, trying to be an anchor for their friends. And that's where a little bit of wisdom comes up. And if you know something about magic, then you can use Arcana to help, change the spell. This is something that, to his knowledge, no one's ever tried before, because most people aren't willing to sacrifice their sanity for a few answers. The ones who are already had questionable sanity.
So, Andy, my Arcana and my religion are both a +1.
Mm-hmm.
Could I make a religion roll?
Sure.
Okay.
In fact, I would recommend religion for you because you are trying to reach out to your patron. Isn't the right word, but at the same time, it's a fitting word.
Mm-hmm. Because she isn't my deity.
No.
She's kind of like a mentor. I don't know.
Yeah. But the point is that this, I think the term patron works, even though we're not speaking about the Warlock Pact.
Right.
So with that being said,
is there any chance I get it at advantage?
You're sort of lucky that he's willing to risk this, so no.
Yeah. I don't want to roll.
Okay, this wasn't even the time to roll. But now you're definitely not getting advantage. I was going to ask, does anybody want to do anything to prepare over the next 2 hours?
I thought we were rolling because you said okay.
No, I was going to wait for everybody to get here, but you rolled before I said. I was going to say you've got time to think about it and prepare. Does anybody want to do anything before you risk this? Or is there any way that you might prepare for it?
I prepare with cat.
Summoning on the power itself and music?
If you think that there's anything over a short rest that will help them be ready for it, like maybe offer an inspiration to somebody.
Yep.
Think of this like Matt Mercer's resurrection ritual. If there's something you can bring to the table now, speak up.
Forever hold your
I
peace.
can offer.
I can't hear you, Michael. You're fading in and out.
I will offer inspiration.
Okay. So whoever you offered that to can add, what is it, a D12 now?
I can offer it to everyone.
Well, no, you can only do one inspiration per round at a time. It's sort of like a concentration spell.
Okay. I will cast it on Trevor.
Okay. Does anybody have anything else before the ritual begins?
Yes, but I wasn't able to get a word in, so here we go.
I'm talking to Kyle now. Forgive me.
I will go off and find a quiet place, and I will sit down and I'll take out all my little figures that I have and my little candle and stuff, and I'll sit there and I'll, like, I guess, quietly meditate and reach out to my patron and say, look, I know apparently I'm not any good, but if you could help out here, that'd be great. I'll tell me what you want me to do and I'll do it.
All right, just give me a wisdom check. This is unrelated to the ritual. You're feeling really down on yourself after that meeting.
Yeah, it messed with me.
Yeah. Okay. Janja, Trevor, did you have anything?
I'm not a part of the ritual.
Okay. That's fair. Yes, Michael, Rihanna had her warlock review, and apparently, other than getting you to assassinate one innocent person, and then losing you to what he referred to as a Nephilim status, they want your soul, but it's harder to get now. Other than that,
I wasn't even aware that I was going to have a review, so this totally was like out of nowhere for me.
Yeah, I'd written it up and then I forgot about it because, and I never know who's going to show up, so notes get lost. Okay, Trevor, did you have anything to prepare for the ritual?
I can just say a quick prayer.
Okay. Give me a
Otherwise,
wisdom.
I really don't have anything.
Okay, just give me a wisdom check for your prayer.
God.
You get this one at advantage. Okay. There's apparently a lot of self-doubt going on. All right, so everybody's going to come in. Learned has set up for those of you who are willing to be there. He is putting out, some iconography related more towards Lathander and, Zariel pre-fall, which is somewhat rare, but he seems to have it.
Of course he does.
And
Stop copying my roles.
all right. So for this, Trevor, remember you do have an inspiration you can roll.
Mm-hmm.
And I will just ask everybody to make whatever is the appropriate roll for you. And we are looking for, let's see, there's going to be with him. Let's try to go for 3 successes.
Okay.
So, quick question. Does it need to be a specific thing like Arcana or religion or something?
Um, yeah, it's again what you feel like you could offer to a spell to contact Zariel. You can be an anchor with wisdom and try to help keep your friends sane. If you have Arcana knowledge, then you can use that to help fine tune the wording of the spell. And if you
Okay.
have religion and you want to offer that knowledge to it, that would also come in handy.
Well, I'm not proficient in either of those two things, so I'm thinking that I'm just better off with an intelligence roll.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. And as Learned begins to lead you all in the spell, Jonja, just curious, are you watching from the sidelines or did you go somewhere else?
I'm watching, I guess.
Okay. So you do see that the candles suddenly flare with a brighter light. Everybody else, everything seems to go very dark, and you are all aware of the communication, even though in this blank space, it's just Trevor and Lulu standing there.
I don't know. Wait, I do know who Lulu is, right?
Well, yeah, but you can't see this. You're just watching them from the sidelines. The ones who are in the ritual are kind of like on a party line. They know what's happening, but they're not directly involved in the conversation.
Okay.
So Lulu is sort of hovering there. Looks at you, Trevor. Hello.
Hi, Lulu. How are you?
I'm good. Who are you?
Talk to me.
Oh, I'm just joking. I know. I remember you, Trevor.
Don't do that.
I'm sorry. It just...
Are you?
Yes, it was a mean thing to do. I'm sorry. I thought it would
It's
be
okay.
funny, but
It's okay. You're cute. I
no.
forgive you.
But no, someone
Just-
stole your memories, and that's not funny at all.
For the second time, actually.
Well, no, the
Better.
first time they altered your memories. This time, someone has taken away memory of you.
Are we able to speak at this, or are we just watching?
You can offer some questions, but they will have a little bit of our. This is mostly between the two of them, so.
That's fine.
But if you have a question, sure, offer it. And
Oh, I had more of a comment, but that's okay.
you can offer
I've
that
always
too.
got comments.
Yeah, I know that. That's a given. So, you can offer commentary.
I'm curious what the comment is.
It's not important.
Well, that was just disappointing after that build up. But anyway.
Yeah, see, now I want to know what it was.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Well, I was like, okay, so basically I was thinking, I was like, well, gee, it's like you seem to have a habit of having people like mess with either your memory or the memory of you, and it's like I don't understand why it is that that it's only certain people that don't know who you are.
Oh, that was because she could only affect one plane at a time, and you've all been to another plane. That sort of made you immune to it, I guess.
You said she. Who?
Oh, you offended the Shar, and this was her retribution. I'm
Who's
really
Shar?
sorry. There's not much we can do about that. She's sort of. I mean, she is a god. She's not a nice god, but she is a god, and I don't know what we can do about that because, well, Zariel can't really challenge a god on her own. So
I
we
understand that.
kind of need to find a way to deal with her.
How did I piss off Shar?
And this will take a minute as like Lulu is basically putting you on mute while she talks to somebody else.
Please hold, sir.
Yeah, she is the
Mount
messenger
Celestia,
after
please
all.
hold. Months left, please hold.
You took someone from Shar, so now she's taking you from everyone.
I look at Trevor and I'm like, Victor.
Was it Victor? Do you know?
No, he was with somebody else, and they don't have a grudge about what happened.
I mean, I guess I'll take that. Is it possible to know who? Or to figure out who?
Let us see. And she'll is gonna say, trying to find a way to explain this to you. You cost her a follower.
Okay.
I want you to make a wisdom check for me, Trevor.
Geez, taking away one follower and she screws up your entire life.
Yeah, some gods can be really petty about that.
Okay, 12. It's not terrible. It's above average.
Yeah, you're having some, like, it's like memories are trying to break through, but all you see is a bent, gnarled figure in a cloak. You don't even remember seeing this figure before, so.
Right. I have no idea who I could have taken from her. I haven't recruited anybody.
Yeah, most of the time, gods don't really get that personal, but I guess she decided that you were worth getting revenge on.
What is it with me and attracting horrible people? Did anybody else have any questions?
Not really. I mean, you don't have any recollection of
I have
anything?
no idea.
Is there a way for us to gain recollection of who it is?
Maybe? I don't know. This is something that your minds are fragile, and there's only so much they can perceive.
Seriously, I've nearly died several times. I think I've been through a time loop. Break me.
You're already broken.
Yes, what he said.
Granted, we all
If
are,
your
but
mind is shattered beyond any recollection, then, well, you could become a real monster, especially you. And
Or
we try to stop monsters. It's in the worker's manual. She holds up, like every book from every good god ever. All their holy books are circling around. It's in all of them.
Lula, do you have a copy of that manual I could borrow?
She points out to every holy scripture from every god of light.
I'll take one for Lythander, and I will slap it in Michael's lap.
Okay. Yes.
You can use me.
No, use me. Use me.
No.
Hold on. Who are we? What?
Yeah, Lulu is very confused by those comments.
I use me in order to get the recollected memories. Michael, as he said, has been through a lot of shit. If he gets broken completely, he's going to be scary, and we don't need that.
Or I could end up becoming the other way. It's like a two-sided coin here.
No, there is no fixing you if this goes wrong. This is like channeling raw magical power through you. There's very little chance you're going to come out for the better.
So that's why I'm saying use me, because Trevor, And Michael, you guys are both stronger than I am anyway. So if I turn into a raving lunatic that wants to try to destroy things and people, you guys can put me down more easily than us trying to do it to Michael.
I just want to point out that's not very different from what you are now. There's a little less control.
How so?
No.
You losing control
demon
means
patron thing. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I have a patron, but apparently I don't do anything worthy of him. So,
Well,
We're
you are capable of great destruction when you try. And if you were suddenly without mercy, restraint, or concern, you could be a true monster.
people already think I
Meanwhile-
am. Look at me. They think I'm a
You-
devil.
Well, I don't see what mortals see. But if we take away the part of you that makes you mortal, the love, the goodness inside of you, and if that's all taken away, then something else could replace it.
Lulu, with my transformation into what I am now, there's been a bit of a crossover, hasn't there, where something else can punish me if I do something wrong.
Yes, that's the divine spark in you.
Yeah, so with me, there at least is a safety net. I might turn into a monster, but my power gets stripped. Is that right?
It really depends, because just because you are divine doesn't mean you're a good person. After all, Shar, well, look what she just did to Trevor over one mortal follower. And that was within her rights, so to speak. And then Vecna became a god, and he's definitely not good. Like, even Shar thinks he's a bad guy.
See, and I'm nothing compared to that, you guys. I have nobody who gives a crap as far as divine influence. You've got Zariel. You've got
And
whatever it is that turns you into that. And I
Lulu
am
kind
just
of looks
nobody.
up to the side like she's hearing something. It's like, yeah, that's not true. I'm being asked that you not risk yourself.
Well, I figured I could at least be good for something.
So you're willing to put your soul on the line for this? Because that's what we're talking about. This could destroy you utterly.
Yes.
We're gonna have
Trevor has people that he needs to get back.
so do you.
I don't have. I have you and Trevor, but that's it.
And
You have
your
your
son.
kid.
I don't even know that he is alive. And besides, he didn't even know who I was, so it doesn't matter. Do it.
That doesn't mean that you can't. It doesn't mean that you should do this. No.
Lulu,
You're looking at it from.
suddenly, Rihanna, you are standing in the same space, and Lulu comes over to you and says, I will do what I can to shield you. Make a wisdom save at advantage. Okay.
17, not terrible.
The memories, because I do believe you were there, start to come in, and those of you who are in this moment can see it. You don't remember this, so it's like watching another version of you play out events where there is a crippled, twisted man who is sort of screaming, about losing everything. This is all Trevor's fault. Just throwing spells that cause nothing but horrible pain. Screaming for him to do it, to finish what he started. And Trevor, you all kind of get this recognition of Spencer Wells. Even though most of you don't recall meeting him, you're suddenly filled with memories, just flashes of someone who became infected by evil. Michael suddenly remembers crippling him with a spell, along with I forget her name, Jeslyn, who, you know, didn't allow him to die and then just dumped him into a bed somewhere. And there was these undead creatures with him. One of them flicks a card, and all of a sudden he's surrounded by a white light, and he makes a wish, and everything changes. And
I do remember Spencer.
And suddenly you're all back in that room. Rihanna, you get you're gonna get a couple of plot points for risking that. But Lulu's just kind of staring at you like, are you okay?
Yeah, I am. I'm fine.
Spencer. Spencer died fighting a demon.
This version of him did.
He made a spell so that he would die like a hero instead of becoming the twisted thing that he was because of me. Oh, great.
And you're the one who made him change. He had become devoted to Shar. She gave him back the power he lost. And he had to pay a price for that, but he was going to spread her word. You took him away from her. And then when you suddenly returned Zariel to her place, she decided to put you in your place before you became too powerful or too full of yourself. Not everyone is exactly happy that Zariel switched sides again.
That makes sense to me. Still kind of a prickish move.
It kind of is, but some of the darker gods don't mind doing those sorts of things from time to time. Especially when they had big plans, and then some mortal, she kind of gives as apologetic a gesture as she can towards Trevor, interferes in those plans.
Okay. Wow. Cool. See, I did something good. Yay me.
John Wilson.
You've done a lot good. That's kind of the reason why you were so bad at your review.
You do try to do good, and then you do a lot of good despite what you want to try to do. You could be better.
How does Michael know about my review?
He doesn't know.
Oh,
I'm sorry, that was out of character what
Yeah,
I was saying.
be careful about that.
I was like, huh?
Because, Rihanna, something that you sort of hear in your mind is that you could be something better if you choose. Turn away from the one you've made a pact with. And of course, you see the purple shadow that is sort of rising up behind you that no one else does. And there seems to be a little bit of a conflict. It's not like you're in any personal discomfort, but you feel two people who are starting to tug at you.
Okay.
And Lulu kind of gives that shadow a dirty look, and like, but you don't understand what they're
Sorry.
saying to each other.
No.
What did I miss?
There's a tug of
okay.
war for Rihanna's soul going on.
Whoa, what? Hold on.
So Rihanna, you basically get the feeling that there is another offer on the table, and it's there for you to choose. It's not being forced upon you. You can think about it, but you get the feeling that if you opted to, you could maybe trade in your dark pact for something else.
Okay, well, I'll need more information, but okay.
Who's fighting for Rihanna's soul?
Huh.
I don't think that's information that you and I get.
Oh, okay.
No,
No,
this is
it's
something
all-
that is happening strictly for Rihanna. You got cut out of this part of the conversation because Lulu
okay, I'm
can
back on
own.
mute.
This was something for Rihanna, and an offer that was directed at her.
Okay, so I look at Lulu, and I'm like, what's going on here?
You're mortal. You can always choose. You always have that chance.
Yeah, but choose what? I don't know what's going on.
That's the bad side of being mortal. You never really know. You just make the choice you feel is best for you. And of course, you've got that coldness that sort of comes with your current patron, just saying, "I can give you power. Ignore them. They only want to use you. I am offering you the chance to do as you please." And Lulu kind of, is giving the shadow a dirty look and says, "You weren't invited to this. I am wherever my followers are. She is my blood. I still
true.
have use for her." And Lulu just says, "The offer is there. You
Who?
are never truly damned until you choose to be. That is the gift of mortals."
Who's offering me something? Lulu.
This is not something I can say.
I can think of 3 people.
But you are better than what you think you are. You just have to choose to be.
Oh wow. Rihanna just has like this total like epiphany. It's like I know where that influence is coming from. I know what it is. Oh my god.
Yeah, Lulu's light suddenly becomes brighter and is driving the shadow away as she says, "You don't have to choose now. You have your whole life. Just know that this door is always open to you until you close it." And with that, where the connection ends and everybody is back with Learned.
Brianna reaches in and grabs a hold of her necklace. And when it's all done, she's like, I'll, yeah. She just gets up and leaves.
Okay.
She tries to go find some place to be by herself.
It's always good to see Lulu again.
What did you do to Spencer?
I don't
want
know.
you to make intelligence checks at advantage.
All of us?
Anyone who wants to try to remember Spencer.
Oh, God.
Intelligence checks at what?
At advantage.
Advantage. Oh, yay. I'll take 19.
Okay.
15.
Michael, the memories are still fragmented in your head. I think Rihanna's got other things on her mind, but Trevor, it's going to take time because, again, you're trying to integrate new memories, old memories, but you get the main points. That you knew Spencer was, going through a hard time after he had been injured. You remember the almost devotion that he gave to Randolph. And then you remember when he was standing between your friends and an utter monster that was offering him protection. And he chose the monster. And then suddenly, it's months later, and the twisted version of him is trying to get people to accept this blood gold, and like somebody was coming around taking bodies in exchange for it, and he blames you personally for everything that's happened. And then you
Rightfully
remember
so.
getting through to him, and suddenly everything is different. And like I said, it's going to take time for these memories to fully be reintegrated, but you will have more of them than anybody else with that role.
Birdie.
Bird.
Bird. Sorry.
And Lerna is just sort of says there. That was extremely informative. I feel that we are back to even now.
Thanks, Learned. And yeah, Michael, it was good to see Lulu again. I missed her.
And you
Think we
just
should
kind
give
of
Rihanna
hear in the
back?
back of your head, it's not like I'm ever that far away.
The power of friendship compels you?
Suddenly,
No.
Michael is sparkling.
I spread out my wings and strike a heroic pose.
That is
And now you went
forever
too far to
ingrained
fade
in my
to
memory.
lay. Lulu didn't strike heroic poses. She just struck dynamic poses like My Little Ponies.
I love Lulu. I don't care what people say. Lulu's the best.
I hope that Wizards of the Coast see some of these clips and us just doing the Lulu stuff.
Lulu's the best. She's literally the greatest character in any of the books.
Shall we give Rihanna about 10-15 minutes and then try to go find her?
I would probably give her a good hour. I don't know what happened, but something was trying to get through to her, I think, or talk to her. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm
We're
done.
going to clip all this Lulu stuff and send it to Chris Perkins and Mike Merles later on, because I want them to know how much Lulu has infected our game.
Lulu has literally changed my entire character.
This is true. Okay. So all that happened, and Rihanna, we can pick up with you whenever you're ready. I will say, you also know from those memories you were able to pull out of Azir before, you had to relinquish her soul, that one of Victor's labs was underneath the castle. So that's just something to keep in mind while you're in town.
Yeah, I remember that, 'cause isn't that where he held us?
Well, he had that was within like the dungeon of the castle. Apparently, based on the information you could pull out of her, he had built a secret lab underneath it all that held things that nobody else knew about. Now, the castle's partly fallen down, and Bugger has set up residence in its remains as his new laboratory. So who knows? It could all be a big crater by now. We have to do a Bugger roll.
Okay.
No explosions.
Exactly. To the secret lab.
But you just
I wish we could share my gift game sometimes because
well, you could go on Twitter and post a link. I mean, not Twitter, but Twitch and post links. I don't know if they go that well. Like that's something I haven't done on Twitch. I don't know. I don't block links until people start posting inappropriate links.
point taken. I'm gonna go back to my nachos.
I'll be back momentarily, you guys.
Okay.
Hey Andy, while Carrie's gone, can I have asked Lulu a question in private before the spell ended?
Sure.
Would she have any knowledge of Rihanna's kid?
That's a little bit harder.
Okay.
Yeah.
If she couldn't, that's fine. I was just curious.
It's. She says that it'll get put on the to-do list, but unfortunately, for her, she's like one of the least powerful of the Celestials. So, keeping an eye out for a particular mortal that she's never heard of is sort of out of her realm.
It's okay. I give her a hug and then I leave.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go see what my cat's just knocked over. So
Okay.
we'll be right back.
Okay.
So in the game, who
Katie, I'm
What-
sorry, I can barely hear you.
in the game this room?
Mm-hmm.
Where is everybody out? I don't know exactly what everybody's doing.
Well, I mean, you were like in the back room of a
Mhm.
bar or a tavern, and now you can be outside because Rihanna, took off. So you're basically in what's left of a ruined capital city. There's only a handful of people who are there. Most of them appear to be young kids who will scramble around, and sometimes you see them hauling off stuff. I mean, like random scrap. But there's not too many people left living here.
I want to look for any more posters that might be up.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, didn't mean to do athletics. That was an act.
So you start sort of walking around the city. It doesn't look like anybody has really been here outside of, people who would like stop by, see there was nothing left of the city, and move on. So nobody has really bothered to put up any, posters looking for anybody here. At least not that you can find.
Okay. I guess I'll head back to the tavern and stay right outside.
Okay. Just give me a perception check while you're standing out there.
Perception.
Okay. That's amazingly good.
I didn't
So-
think I'd.
Yeah, you see, like I said, a lot of what you can only assume to be orphaned urchins that are, they're all sort of taking notice of you, but they, that's like kids peeking around a corner and then they take off somewhere. You swear you heard the flutter of wings, but you don't see any birds around. That's about it.
I love how Kyle and Danny are both like bent over, shoveling food with only the top half of their faces.
Oh, I've got to reconnect. I can't even see Kyle. Let me try to get my...
Oh, it's okay. You're not missing much.
Well, I want the other people to be, I want people watching to be able to see him shovel food into his mouth too.
Okay, I'm ready if you're ready, Andy.
Sure.
I have a question. Have I heard this fluttering sound before? Is this particular to me?
I mean, it didn't sound like a bird.
Is it Tiberius?
No, but I guess you would say it had it sounded a little bit bigger than Tiberius, but it does have, like almost a leathery wing sound that you've heard before. You just don't see anything anywhere.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, Reno. You went to the remains of the temple district. Like I said, most of them have some structural damage, but there is enough that you're able to, still find a seat within the Temple of Palor.
Okay. Yeah. I go in there and I sit down and pull the necklace out. Just kind of hold it in my hand. And I'm like, okay. I know I've asked you to give me signs before, Silas. If this was your doing because you're trying to save me, give me a sign. Something. Anything. Please. I'm okay. You don't have to save me.
Give me a wisdom check.
Yuck.
Oh, you're getting this one at advantage, which you
Not very good.
needed. Yeah. A lot of times when you go into the Temple of Palor, you always feel the same sense of security, I guess. It's, something that just automatically flows. It is something that you always felt around Silas, and it carries through even now. No one is pressuring you to do anything. You just sort of feel like, I guess I would say the best way to put it is that you were just willing to sacrifice yourself for your friends, and the certain powers took notice of that and wanted to, say we will happily have you on our team, which then made your team suddenly get jealous because they don't like to lose people either.
Yeah. All right. Well, if Silas, if you had anything to do with this, or if this Paylor or somebody, you guys gotta send me a sign because I am very, very confused right now. I know what I want to do, and I know what I've done, and I know that I have an internal conflict, and I need to make a decision.
You hear a voice behind you saying, "Young lady, you just described every person that ever walked upon this plane, whether they say they are mortal, God, or something in between." And if you turn around,
I
there's
just
just
said jump up with my dagger. I'm like,
yeah. And there's just an old man who's sort of leaning on his staff, just sort of, walking in. Like, I didn't mean to disturb you. I probably shouldn't have said anything, but and he sort of, limps over to one of the pews and sits down with a grunt, like, but I also find that when people come in here, sometimes they're looking for someone to answer back, and well, we don't all get, heavenly messengers coming down on to deliver golden messages on silver platters. Sometimes we just have to talk to who we got around.
very true. Yeah. She really doesn't have anything else to say. She just kind of sits there in silence.
Yeah, he's just sort of doing the same.
I would like to follow.
Sorry, Katie, can you say that a little bit louder?
I would like to follow the fluttering.
Okay. It's actually not going anywhere. It's just sort of, every now and then it's just you hear a sound, but it's staying around that tavern. But the old man just sort of sits there, and you you don't know if he's just, some old vagabond who was looking for a place to sleep for a few hours, or if this, is his own quiet contemplation. But he seems to think that it would be rude to interrupt your train of thought.
Eventually, at one point, I'll look at him and say, well, I was given powers. So I made a pact. And I'm with people who are all goody goodies. And now apparently I have some positive, good influence that wants me. But I don't know what to do because I don't want to give up my power. I want power. And I don't think that's what the good influence is really going to do for me.
And it's quiet for a moment, and then you hear the subtle sounds of snoring.
Great.
And he kind of like, oh, sorry, what was that?
Oh, nothing. I'll leave you to your prayers or whatnot. Have a good day.
Oh, well, I hope you find the answers that you're seeking, Rihanna.
Just smile, shake my head, and walk out. I'm like, this has happened to me before in here, or they knew who I was. So she's just gonna walk out.
Okay.
She's just gonna kind of wander around the rest of the temple district for a bit, just kind of thinking and like poking her head in all the rest of the ones that are there that she's never been in.
Okay. For the most part, I think they're all, more or less the same, only, less inhabited. You see the same street urchins occasionally, like they're going through finding some scrap metal and some rocks and putting it into a cart and hauling off. They, of course, sort of run when they see you at first, but some of the braver ones will finish up whatever it is they were doing and then scamper off.
Okay. I'll offer any of them at some point. Like if any of them are brave enough to hang around, I mean, I'll offer them food from my bag if they're hungry.
I'm gonna say that make a charisma check for me. Let's just see how they react. Okay. The more talkative of them will just say that, they don't look like they're, starving children. Maybe everybody could be better fed in this day, but they usually just say, "Oh, Tavi says not to talk to adventurers," and then they run away.
Tell Tavi that I only want to help. I know he hates me.
And when you're walking around, if you do go near, like the where the castle was, or if you're following the kids at all, they might go up to a certain point where they, just leave their carts, and then there's signs that say, "Experiments taking place. Stay out. Unless you want to be a test subject, then apply within."
Oh my god, they're gathering things for a bugger.
And then in a different handwriting, it says, "No, seriously, stay out. Adventurers should just walk away now." And then there's a couple of danger signs.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ignore all those signs. I think I'll make my way in there.
Okay. I'm just
going to town on that croissant.
I'm just going to bring up one of the maps that I know I built. Where did I do it? I don't. Let me just see which one this is. Because I'm zoomed in so far. Okay, yeah. Hold on a second. I'll bring this one over for you. So this is just sort of like the remains of the castle, at least on top. Was there anything you were looking for?
No, I'm just gonna poke around.
Okay. Every now and then you do kind of hear some sounds, but you never really see anything. It could just be, I guess something just. It could be just animals.
Yeah, I just kind of keep poking around and keep walking around. I figure that my presence there will be enough to piss Tabby off that he might show himself.
Okay.
Why do we keep provoking this poor kid?
I'm not trying to provoke him. I'm trying to gain his trust, but he hates me.
Where are you at on the map?
Oh, I don't know. I hadn't put myself on there. Hold on.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm assuming over here on the left is kind of like.
Yeah, it's a really big area, so.
Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna kind of make a loop, walk through all the different portions I can see on the map here.
Okay.
Just kind of poke at things and
Right.
like I'm just out for a Sunday stroll.
Okay. So when you get a ride about here, you do see something that is just a little bit odd. Let me find it. You see just what I can only describe as floating fire. It's just moving all by itself.
Interesting. I'll stand there for a little bit, just kind of watch it and see what it does.
For the most part, it'll like pass by some. There's not. You can see like it starts to set some grass and stuff on fire, but the fire doesn't spread for very far. And eventually, it will, pass on by past a wall.
Interesting. I will continue my my.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check. All right, so you hear the crackle of energy as a lightning bolt just seems to zip right by.
That's crazy because I just moved down here too.
Yeah. So yeah, it zips by in one direction. It's not moving particularly fast. But yeah, there's something weird happening around here.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep moving.
Okay. After a while, you see that same fire. This time it's coming right for you. So
Yeah, isn't that lovely?
So I guess roll initiative and decide how you want to act or react.
Okay. Okay.
Am I able to join in if I want?
I mean, if you were following Rihanna,
Yeah, I'm sorry if I didn't say that.
okay, then yeah, you see Rihanna as this ball of fire just sort of starts coming in her general direction.
Yeah, I didn't roll very well, but yeah.
Okay.
Truth matters. I'm not really sure how I would defend against fire, other than the fact that I'm, sort of resistant. But yeah.
Okay. So yeah, after a while, it just seems to like come in your direction, and it will, sort of, I guess I would say, spark in your direction, but it rolled a 10, and that doesn't hit you.
No, it does not.
So, Rihanna, do you want to do anything about it?
Well, I don't know.
Do that.
I'm going to, I think, I don't know. Guess I don't know, maybe I'll just throw an Eldritch Blast at it or something, because I don't know if it'll do anything.
Okay, go ahead and fire off. You get 3 at your level. Okay. All right, so I'm going to pull for that fail right quick. So your first one does hit it and knocks it back. The second one, you are actually blasted back 1d10 feet away. Let me just roll a 1d10. Okay, so you get knocked back 30 feet by your own blast blowing up in your face. But your second one also went through and hit this thing. And now the flame, so like I said, yeah, you get knocked back. Now the flame seems to be heading in your direction. Jonja, it is your turn, as you just sort of appear out of almost nowhere to see Rihanna attacking a ball of fire.
Good gracious, great balls of fire.
Exactly.
Could I use my ring to maybe create a little boundary to prevent?
I mean, how do you want to use the ring to accomplish this?
I was going to almost. I don't know. I don't know if I want to use my ring now.
Okay, I mean,
I just don't know how that would work.
Well,
I have an idea. Okay, so I'll take some of the stone from beneath us.
Mm-hmm.
Some not.
There's plenty of fallen rocks around. That's not a problem.
Yeah, and I'll pick it up and I'll create like a shield.
Okay.
Not me, but around it to prevent it from shooting us.
Okay, so basically, you pick up however many rocks your ring will let you pick up, and just have them start spinning around this fire. Is that it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Oh, that does seem to hold it off for a second, but then it just seems to change shape and go right around the rocks, never really affected by them. But now it perceives you as a threat. But it does. 9 won't hit you. So the fire blast that comes at you does nothing. Rihanna, it's your turn.
Okay. I'm going to try out something I haven't used before. I've got a cantrip called Booming Blade, and I'm going to use that.
Okay. Yeah, that hit it for... doesn't it also include the attack of the blade itself?
I believe so.
Okay, so go ahead and roll a normal attack, and we'll just use that for the damage. Okay, yeah, so you swipe at it with your sword, and between, with the added thunder damage, it seems to dissipate the fire.
Cool. I look at John, I'm like, well, I'm kind of glad you were here. Not happy that you were sneaking around following me, but thanks.
You're welcome.
I wonder what that is. I wonder where it came from. I think we need to go check it out further, in all honesty.
Yeah.
So I will use my earring of whatever the hell it is we've got, and I will say, Michael, Trevor, if you guys are not otherwise engaged, John and I are up here at the castle ruins, and there's something funky going on.
Well, I mean, that's where Bugger's been doing experiments.
Yeah.
Well, there was fireballs and lightning bolts just kind of floating around out here, and it attacked me.
Does that sound like a Bugger thing, Andy?
I mean, is that even a question worth asking?
I mean, fair enough. Do I know what
That is
time it
definitely a bugger thing.
I have a question.
What's the definition of a Bugger thing? What is your question?
Did it drop a gem?
No, it did not drop a gem.
Okay.
Andy, what time is it in game time?
I guess it would be a little afternoon. Let's call it about 3 or so in the afternoon.
It's about 3, Michael.
You asked me the question just so you could tell him. Yeah, it's 3 bells afternoon.
Okay. What do you want? Why are you so needy today?
So do you think that that's Bugger's thing going on?
I mean, he's kind of claimed the castle. Sorry, Michael.
Yeah, he's claimed the castle along with Orphan, whose name I can't remember right now.
Tavi's been like his assistant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk out, like, kind of back towards this direction where they sort of were originating from.
Okay.
And I think I'm just gonna shout really loud, Bugger! Bugger! Bugger!
There is no reply. But if you're just walking around, there comes this yellowish cloud that just, again, drifts by, and in the opposite direction of the wind. And it seems to move around all on its own.
I would
This is
probably
weird.
just if they've got traps up there, I'd probably just leave them alone for a short. Probably send message through the orphans that Tavi had and get them to talk to us through them.
Yeah, probably true. It looks like Jandra was trying to see if anybody was watching us.
Yeah.
Yeah, John, there is absolutely a lightning bolt that's drifting near you.
Okay, I think we need to go.
It sounds like it would be a very good idea.
Are you guys still at the inn?
I agree. Let's go.
They have a very nice tasting stew. I don't know if they mix brandy in or scotch.
Okay, you guys do remember where I said that this entire place was deserted and only a few orphans are hanging out? Where did you
I was
find an
joking.
inn with a Scotch stew?
Wait, where are we?
You're
I
in
was simply asking if they were back at the Jackal, or I forget the
Laughing
name,
Jackal.
sorry. The Laughing Jackal. Are you guys still at the Laughing Jackal with Learning?
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm still at the Laughing Jackal.
Okay, I think we'll meet you guys back there.
It's probably one of the few bars still open. Or
well,
standing.
he doesn't
probably
really
the-
have anybody working there, so it's really just him and his booth.
Well, yeah. Not saying that it's functioning, but it's...
Yeah.
So yeah, if John's just with me, we'll go back.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just not going to change the map just yet.
That's fine.
This has been a interesting day.
Interesting. Yeah.
Did you find out anything, Rihanna?
Not a lot of people around here. A lot of little orphans and rugrats running around collecting stuff for, I'm assuming, Bugger.
Probably. I can think of worse places for him to be.
True. DM. did the manor house that we used to use as our base of operations, is it still functional, standing, destroyed?
I will say it pretty much got looted of anything of value, but it's still a standing structure.
Okay. Well, when we get back to the Laughing Jackal, I will suggest to the rest of them, like, maybe we could use that, go there and stay there for the evening or something, because we're familiar with it.
Probably couldn't hurt.
Yeah. Sounds like a good idea.
Cool, cool.
So, how'd your tone go?
Fine.
You seemed very confused when you left.
Yeah, it's a sort of a different experience having your mind sort of jacked with.
Tell me about it.
You get a little bit used to it after a while. I think that's more worrying when you get used to it.
Yeah, well, like I said, I figured it would affect me the least, so it's all good.
So we'll go find the old safe house, quote unquote.
Yeah, we'll go
Yeah.
back to the manor house.
Yeah, you can basically take your pick of any building that wasn't burned down. I'd say
My
occasionally
house
you
was
see
just-
signs that the kids have, set up like their own little home there, but it's, slightly repaired furniture.
My house was just straight up destroyed, right?
I think yours was stone, but so whatever wasn't gutted by fire.
Okay.
Like again, the stone structure is there, and it could probably
Oh.
be fixed fairly easily. But
Did I ever find like his mom's circlet, or is that still missing? I don't
I
remember
assume
what
you
we
kept
agreed
that
on.
when after it got stolen from a notorious thief and then
Oh, okay.
returned.
Okay.
So my opinion was you kept it with you at that stage.
Okay. I didn't remember. So
I don't suppose there's any more of Frick's ale in the basement of this place.
Michael
Wiggle
goes
up,
to check the
wiggle up.
basement for everybody.
Give me an investigation check.
I will help him.
Okay. Okay, so you're rooting around in the basement, and let's see, you do find a hidden compartment that apparently Frick stuck a barrel in,
Yes!
and then he also apparently left some rations, but those went moldy.
I pull out the
Yeah.
barrel.
Okay,
Yes!
you have a barrel of aged Fricktastic. Aged about a year, but still aged.
Hey, we just know it's potent as shit, so that's all I care about right now.
Yeah, that's pretty much a given when he makes something, because
Mhm.
I mean, good God, his rolls for brewing have always been amazing. It's
I suppose we could scrounge around or, I don't know, maybe hunt some small animals for food tonight.
I could make the mansion and we could go in there and feast.
Duh. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I was just, roughing it.
Volunteer hunting.
What's that?
I volunteer hunting.
I
mean,
say
you
let's
can-
do it. I said let's try to catch our dinner. It's good for us to be able to keep up on our skills.
Oh, we're gonna have to leave the city to do that.
Why?
Do you really think there's wildlife in here? I mean,
It's
unless we're gonna
over-
go fishing. Last time I was
mean-
fishing,
Well, I mean, the city's destroyed. Wildlife tends to move in when that happens. Just saying. I'm not saying large wildlife. I mean, there's squirrels and rabbits and, you know.
With that particular survival roll, Janja is currently throwing rocks at some rats.
wait, not rats. We don't know.
I mean,
Oh, we don't know if they're children?
So far, none of the rats have started yelling at him.
listen, it tastes
Don't.
Yeah, I'm right there with her. I can't hit them.
They're just both
Oh,
throwing
God.
rocks at rats.
I'm just curious. +0, guys. Yeah.
Now 3 of you are out there throwing. Michael, you're watching them do this, and you're just thinking,
I'm just doing this for fun now.
yeah. But I'm describing it because you rolled it.
Mhm.
So, the rats are fairly, good size. And Michael's like, looks up and notices, the birds that fly around. And then, of course, just a couple of miles away, there is wilderness. And then you also, Michael, notice the kids walking by with their fishing poles.
So we looked really stupid. That's all. No big deal.
Yeah,
I wasn't
they're-
even trying to kill a rat. I'm just happy to be violent with something.
Let all your frustration out.
Oh, I never said you guys hit the rats. So not with those rolls.
Honestly, Tiberius probably just watched us, went and caught a rat for his dinner, and just continued watching us.
Yeah. Well, let me
like-
give him a survival roll.
He should get advantage because he's a professional hunter.
That is true. Apparently, the rats are bigger than him, and they're putting up a fight.
Okay, I just go over and just lift him. That thing is twice the size of you. Just stay there.
Okay, after it's obvious that we're not gonna catch anything, I'll just kind of shrug my shoulders and laugh because, it was something fun to do. I'll look at Michael and be like, fine.
Thank you.
I mean, I was perfectly willing to catch and make a fire and,
I mean,
like
we
the
can
good
still
old
go to
days.
the woods.
Or we
Yeah.
just make a fire right here in the front yard.
That seems. I mean, are we going to shoot other people?
Using what? Charred remnants of whatever that tapestry was, or whatever's left of that, and the tattered remains of.
It actually
Okay.
looks like one that came from the brothel. I don't know why it's over here, but
What were you doing in a brothel to know
I was a,
what that looks like?
I was a guard.
Uh-huh. He was guarding the brothel.
Woods and start.
I can actually imagine legitimate business for a guard actually being needed at a brothel. I mean, you've got a guy that doesn't pay or he starts beating on the women. But
I mean, honestly, most of those women could hold their own. It was kind of scary at times, actually, especially when I was younger.
I want to actually
Okay,
and start hunting for.
Okay.
Wow.
that sounds like a good
So
idea.
you remember that wildlife tends to live in the wilderness, and it's only been a couple of months. They haven't moved back into the stone city. So you can go out and you will be able to, we'll say with that roll, you get a few rabbits. You think you can make stew with them.
Potatoes.
Potatoes.
You
you know,
ruined
boil
it.
them, mash them, put them in a stew.
Okay.
Raw and wiggling.
Little sash I have. And Janja has the sash, so I'll go back to the town, the ruined town, and I'll bring the rabbits in my sash.
Okay.
I guess give it to Michael. Do you want to cook on Michael?
Guard.
It's Isengard.
I'm doing it for D&D.
Oh.
Oh, I get Isengard.
Would you like to cook the rabbit?
Here.
Michael will set up a fire. Yeah.
Oh, I was
I'll
just gonna
cook
say, I
it.
was like, I'll gather up whatever will burn, put it in a pile, and then I can use my burning hands spell, just shoot fire and start a big old bonfire.
Uh,
I mean, try to
is that
cook dinner, not
the
burn all the
warlock,
meat.
or is that your... No, that was your hellish retribution. So yeah, this is a warlock ability, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So as you're doing that, you suddenly remember where you saw that particular type of fire that attacked you earlier. It looked exactly the same as the burning hand spell you just cast. But now you have a nice fire going.
Yes, a big fire.
Yes.
Because I was like, all right, everybody, stand back. This is gonna be crazy. Whoosh! 15-foot cone of fire. Anything in its path is on fire.
Michael
You just set that wagon on fire.
It wasn't usable.
True.
Michael just starts patting the fiery remains that were the rabbit down now.
I didn't shoot the rabbits. I was trying to start a fire so we can cook the rabbits.
Remind me again how you guys ever managed to beat Azir in a fight.
Really good rolls and luck.
Yeah,
We're
that was
better at
basically
fighting
it.
than cooking.
You just spent 20 minutes arguing over dinner in a fantasy game.
It's not arguing, it's debating.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with Trevor. Yeah. Debating.
Okay.
So I never tell Christina I said that because she wins almost every single conversation we have.
How well has
You're
cooking
dead.
meat?
I'm going to say that you guys, with your experience levels, cooking is not a difficult thing to do. Unless you choose to roll for it, I'm going to say you...
I was just going to say we
Michael
should skin the
is
rabbits.
apparently just dropping the unclean rabbits into a pot of water, and then
I
he's
swear I
rummaging
saw a
through his
play
bag,
about
tossing
rabbit
in,
boiling water
like
before.
cutting the potatoes into quarters and dropping them in.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I will walk over. I will pull those rabbits out. I'm like, you gotta skin them first.
I'm just gonna sit
And
back
I'll
and
take
watch
out
at
my-
this point.
Oh wait,
And I'm gonna take out my dagger and I'm gonna spin it around in my fingers all fancy like. And I'm going to skin these rabbits like it's nothing, I hope.
It's actually very easy to skin a rabbit.
I
Yeah,
didn't
you
mean
just
to.
cut
I'm just
hole.
waiting to see the roll.
Oh,
Yeah,
what do you want me to roll?
Survival, apparently. So you start stabbing the rabbits with your dagger, and then you realize you didn't have a hunting knife. You had a pointed dagger that, you jab into things, but it doesn't really cut things.
John, just save us from ourselves.
I take the rabbit from Rihanna and I just try and call Tiberius wherever he or she is, and I just give to them, and then I go back out and try and hunt.
He gets a
Okay.
whole rabbit.
Yeah, Tiberius now is just gorging on rabbit.
I guess it's been a while since we've had to cook our own food,
And
guys.
about an hour later, when the water is boiling nicely, Janja comes back with a decent-sized deer.
Do I need to do another survival roll to make sure I can cut this?
Please, for the love of God.
With the 18, I'm going to say you brought back the edible meats.
Already skinned.
Yeah, you field dressed it while you were out, and then you brought it back, because...
I drop it in the water and I say, don't touch it.
Oh God, we're boiling venison. It's gonna be terrible.
Yeah, I was just saying, let's roast it. We'll boil the vegetables, then we'll chop it up and throw it in at the end.
It's still
Actually-
meat. It still tastes like chicken. If not, Tiberius can have it.
But venison doesn't taste like. I grew up on venison. That was out
Okay.
of character.
If you guys want to keep making the roll on this, that's
No.
fine. Otherwise, we're going to
No.
go with Jonja having an 18 in survival and saying that he knows how to properly cook the food.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's
Even
just
though
have
I think
dinner.
at the end he's just swatting you all away.
Can I just see what my next roll would have been?
Sure, go ahead.
Please don't count this.
That's still better than what we were getting.
So, all right,
I
here's
guess
how I'm going to interpret that, because I am going to count that to a certain extent. This is people trying to come over and help you, and you constantly having to chase them away.
I'm not doing anything. I'm letting it happen.
Yeah, I think this was mostly Michael, because Michael and then Rihanna trying to one-up him, making things worse.
Yep.
Michael just stands back. He knows that he's an idiot when it comes to survival.
So eventually, you have something that is edible.
And I gave up trying to help, and I dragged that cask or keg or whatever it is out, and I tapped that bugger, and I have filled everybody's cups full with Fricktastic.
And then at some point, while you guys were struggling over dinner, maybe I should be struggle busting over dinner. You see a bunch of kids come back with like a line that has just got roasted fish on them, and they're obviously bringing it to all their friends.
I'll just nod at him, wave, and say, "See ya."
A couple of the younger ones do wave back, and then they kind of like, an older kid puts their hand down and whispers to them.
I'm trying, after I finish eating, and I'm gonna actually try Fricktastic beverage.
Okay.
And, okay.
And this is some strong stuff, but you can handle it.
Okay, I was very worried about that.
Yeah, I'm like, Michael, don't you want this? You love Fricktastic.
I'm good for tonight. I can have it a bit later. I'm just.
Oh, come on.
I'll
Come
drink for you.
on. Have a drink with me.
After I finish eating and having Fricktastic, I'm gonna be sharpening my spear.
Okay.
Brianna's just gonna be very persistent, and she's kind of gonna make like ridiculous faces, like she's like giving him like a big eyebrow thing, like, come on, have some drink with me.
I'm good. I'll have some tomorrow night. I just don't really feel like drinking tonight.
I say to Michael, if I can drink it, you can. And I take whatever cup of Fricktastic and I hand it to him.
If he doesn't want to drink, he doesn't have to.
Trevor, do you need a refill yet?
I'm good.
Just hand Trevor. Michael just hands over his cup to Trevor, just like, God, I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. I just don't want to drink tonight.
That's never you. That's never been you.
That has been me for quite a while.
All right, whatever. I'm just gonna keep drinking.
And then
I never actually drank until I started hanging out with you people.
This is my first drink in my life.
What?
Well, here, have some more, and I'm gonna refill John's cup as many times as he'll take it.
Up until I get drunk. Oh no. I handle it okay. I'll say thank you. And then after drinking,
No problem.
I will take out that poster that I took from that town, and I'll question everybody about the poster and if they know who this is. Or who was responsible for this being put
Isn't
out.
that you?
Well, Rihanna, considering your particular constitution roll, I think you're just like, hey, she looks good, and then falls over.
Pretty much.
I cast protection from poison.
On me?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a little late for that. Once they're on the ground, it's a little late to get them sobered up.
But it keeps her from getting too intoxicated.
With a 6, again, I don't think she could get more intoxicated.
Okay, fine. She can be white girl wasted then.
And I'll be laying on the ground.
Oh my
giggling and
god, you're
laughing.
so pretty.
But John just showed you all a picture of Rihanna. Did you show them yours also?
Me to show them.
I cannot hear what you're saying.
You're asking if I showed the poster with Rihanna on it as well?
Yeah, did you show both or just one?
Both, I would say.
Okay.
But I'm more concerned about the one with me on it.
Okay.
So what's the whole thing about you not showing your face anyway? Is it just a privacy thing?
Yes.
At the same moment, he's holding up a wanted poster of himself.
See that? I think that's why. He's on the lam, Trevor.
I just kind of like pat her head, like, have some water.
I guess his new
No.
jelly. But yeah, why do you guys have what? I read over the posters, going, why do you guys have wanted posters for yourselves now?
Is there something we need to know?
What? I'm wanted? No. Well, of course, everybody wants me.
Here, Rihanna, have some more liquor. I hand her water and I try to convince her that it's liquor.
This is not frictastic. This
No,
tastes-
it's called It's called tequila. It's clear.
No.
Do a perspective.
I'll just fill up a mug with Frictastic and hand it over to her. Just drink up.
She'll wander over, well, try to wander over to look at that poster more. And I don't know if she can read it at this point, but she's
Give
like,
me an intelligence check at disadvantage.
yes.
Well, could it just be a straight? Nope.
I
This
guess
picture
that's a
looks an
no.
awful lot like someone you once knew, maybe back in school.
Like, I think I know this person.
Do you?
It's you. God. Oh,
Huh? 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 Wait a minute. And so I'll stumble over with it and plop down in Michael's lap with it and say, what does it say?
I start reading it out loud. What does the poster say?
Missing person, reward for information.
John, do you have family looking for you?
Oh, that was mine for Rihanna.
Oh, my bad.
I look over at motion for Janja to hand me theirs.
Okay.
What's? I read it out loud. What is
I'm
this one?
missing? I start looking at
It's
myself.
basically
and
the
I
same
remember I'm
thing,
missing.
only it just says information offered for reward for information on Tabaxi Janja. Permanent position, no questions asked.
Sounds like you're in trouble and somebody's missing me. I wonder who.
Yes. I wonder who as well. I start. Does it look like it's been made by a printing press?
I mean, these are about. This looks like somebody went to a scribe to have it made.
Do they look aged at all, or is it
No,
like
they're both
recent?
fairly recent. The one under Rihanna says, speak to Izza, and the other one has not really a name on it, but more like I guess you would say the symbol of what you probably recognize as what a group of sailors might have on their boat. So it's like, if they saw anybody with connected to that boat, they could go to them for information and get the reward.
I point out, Rana, do you know an Izza?
Is you still my favorite person?
Oh, do I have cure poison?
You guys can still hear me, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
but just barely.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is
you're
it better
coming in
now?
better than you were, but
It's better now, isn't it?
yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I cast Lesser Restoration on Rihanna, so she sobers up.
But it says the condition has to be blinded, deaf, and paralyzed or poisoned. I'm not poisoned. I'm just drunk.
Alcohol is technically a poison.
Okay, Dad.
Yeah, technically.
No, literally.
I
it
am going to
poisons
make
the body. That's
I'm
why
going to
we get
make
drunk.
the DM decision here that no, you're not able to fix drunkenness.
That's stupid.
It's not taking away her health, it's just taking away her intelligence.
So while she's sitting there, she's like I said, she's still sitting there in Michael's lap. She just starts kind of fiddling with his hair. She's like, I'm tired.
We can go to bed in a bit, hon. I showed Janja the pirate symbol. Do you know that? Does that look familiar?
Do I recognize it?
It was like the flag on a boat, the village that you were in when you found it, but it's not one that has information to you personally.
No, I do not. Do you?
Actually, yeah. Do I recognize that symbol at all?
No, you have not been in the sailor life for quite a while. You just sort of know that they all tend to, like when they're doing business, they tend to just use like this, like a logo, company logo, as opposed to a name.
Okay. Yeah, this is intriguing. Because what?
Danny's dying.
Yeah, you're about to get a random attack.
Okay, so we need to find out which ship carries this symbol, and we need
Good
you
luck
to
right
sober
now.
up. That way you can tell us. That way you can see if you can remember who Ezra is. So I say we look into these things in the morning, or possibly after we've managed to restore everybody's memory of Trevor in the town.
Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, that's kind of important because
Every single person that I care about doesn't even know I exist.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
going
Wow,
to bed.
ow! So you don't care about us? Ow! Ow! My heart!
I'm going to bed.
Did we lose Katie?
No. Just trying to connect some AirPods, and I don't know where I put the case. Oh no. Okay, there it is. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, Trevor goes to bed.
Yeah. So you're able to rest through the night. Nothing seems to
Rihanna
disturb.
passes out.
Yeah. I thought that was a given with those rolls.
Oh yeah.
But nothing too weird happens. There might be some sounds early in the morning coming from the castle, but for the most part, it's just a bunch of kids who seem to be going about their day, doing whatever it is they're doing.
Andy, do I have any more of those god awful dreams involving people critiquing my horrible warlock skill?
Nope, it's definitely not time for your review.
Okay, good. That was the reason why she got so drunk. She didn't want to have any more visitors in her sleep.
Nope, that just happened the one time.
Okay, good to know.
And just because it amuses me, the reason why your file said lecherous trollop was because most of the information was filled out by a succubus who wasn't very happy with you.
I see. I was like, trollop? Who do you call it a trollop? My name isn't Letrus. What the hell?
Yeah, so that's why he put in lecherous trollop, preferred name, Rihanna.
Awesome.
He didn't care. He's just the office worker.
I'm just the secretary.
He gets stuck having to review a bunch of power-hungry warlocks to see if they've actually done anything with the power they were given.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not like I haven't gone any further in my warlock stuff, so I'm never going to be that powerful.
No,
I
it's
just
more about the fact that you keep praying to him without doing anything, in exchange. You
I
were
was going
given the
to.
power once, and then
Remember
you
that really elaborate plan that I had?
I know.
That I was going to
Do you remember how you abandoned it?
I kind of had to because the story.
That's not their problem. That's like I said, they just want to see what the return on their investment is, or should they call it back?
I just have to say this. I just have to say this. The HR in hell seems to be better than any HR at any place I have worked at.
This was HR for the Abyss, though. That's why their records were even worse.
Mm.
That's still better than any job I've had.
Jonjo will say, did any of you guys tell anybody about me?
Jonjo, I
No?
don't know enough about you to tell anybody anything. I literally have more important things on my mind right now.
Well, I mean, for one thing, it does say race, tabaxi, name, Jonja. Which one of you told?
Who would we tell?
People, stop shouting.
No.
Oh my God.
I've been in hell for like 6 months, possibly. Don't really know.
Felt like 4 years.
Sounds lovely.
And I literally found out about you being a tabaxi like last week. Who the hell have I been able to talk to in the past week that would care? Let alone, why would I tell anybody? There's no reason to.
I truly do not know, but still, it's...
Hand on my little barred heart, may my wings be taken from me. I have not told anyone about you.
Good, and it better stay that way.
I thought we agreed we were gonna stop threatening each other.
Yeah, I was gonna
From
say.
each other.
No more of that.
If we need to have another team meeting, so help me. I will not forget to smite.
Okay, Dad's pissed now. Better behave, guys.
Okay.
Everybody stop arguing or else nobody gets to go to the wonderful tavern up in the sky. We'll turn around this cart right now.
Do you want me to turn this wagon around? Do you? I will turn this wagon around so fast.
He started it. He touched me.
Stop touching your sister.
Andy,
I'm touching the air.
Do you guys want to do anything productive with our last 20 minutes or so of game time?
I don't know. I have no idea what to do right now.
The location of the wanted poster.
Well, you could, you did travel, halfway across the broken country. You could go back to that village.
Do you guys want to go?
Do I know an Izza?
Make me a history check.
Nice.
You have never heard that name before.
I have no idea who Izza is.
Great.
Not a clue. That's actually not a bad drawing of me, though.
No, it's very well detailed.
Yeah, that's kind of scary, guys. What's going on?
Do I know anything about anything right now? Like that village being attached to anything in particular, or
No, the village wasn't even important until it became oceanfront property.
seriously, I know nothing, Jon Snow.
I'm going to just go out on a limb and say that Michael is completely lost in this moment.
And that's different from any other moment. How?
Normally, I have at least a random plan that comes into my head on how to handle something. I don't right now.
So, in other words, it's like every other moment, except he's not trying to pretend he knows what's going on.
Okay, I
Remember,
think we
he
need to
took a
figure out
bunch
who...
of books from an insane, powerful wizard to a demi-lich to try to get them translated.
Yeah. Yep. So did Learned ever tell us what that tome was?
No, you never
I don't
asked.
think it matters.
God damn it. Meant to.
I honestly think that anything regarding Victor just needs to be destroyed and forgotten.
If you want to run back and check right quick before you head out.
Because there's nothing
I'm
good
going
we
to.
can use from any of his knowledge. Look what it did to him.
I'm gonna go see Learned.
Okay.
I really don't think that we should be dealing with something that has a direct connection to the God of Secrets.
I just
You
didn't
only
like
wanted to
how
read
it's
it
going.
and learn about it.
I wanted to
Learn it
man.
is there, wide awake, business as usual.
I walk in and I'm like, oh, thank God, some shielding from the light. It's so light outside. Whew. Hey, I forgot to ask you yesterday, and I don't know if you're willing to, give me this one little last bit of info or not, but when I described the book, you seemed to think that you knew exactly what it was. What was it?
That'll be 50 gold.
Fine,
We're
I'll
at
give him 50
even.
gold.
Yeah. Okay. So you pay him the 50 gold, and he says, based on the description, it sounds like it is the Book of Stilled Tongues. It is one of the tomes that Vecna uses to communicate with his followers. If it was destroyed,
Oh
it probably
my.
wasn't the original, but he can have another one made in time.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Awesome.
You're welcome. And armed with that knowledge, what do you want to do?
Dress and drag and do the hula? Wow! Okay, nobody watches Disney.
Oh, I know exactly what you were talking about.
So using my earring, I'm gonna say to you guys, all right, are we heading back to the other place and figuring out these posters and trying to figure out Trevor's stuff? Because I need to do something. I'm getting restless.
Okay.
I don't know even where to begin.
Well, how do you take on a god?
I thought we were past this.
Well, she's just kind of struck against you and removed your memory from how many people?
Pretty much anybody who's been in my family.
And this includes your wife as well, doesn't it?
Almost wife.
Yeah.
Is
I think
that a
we need to
yes?
have- So your fiance. Yeah, we need to have a talk with her. Figure out what's going on with that.
I'm pretty
Why?
sure I'm not welcome back home right now because they don't know who I am. They think I'm following an archdevil.
Can I ask Learned if he has some way to, I don't know, portal our asses back to Emberfield?
I do.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I will
can
say
get that
that
tree thing.
the unnamed village that Jonjo was at was probably more about right here on the map. But you have been traveling back and forth a lot, so we'll say that you can get, close enough to the area. Unless you want to go back to Emberfield.
No, it was just the only thing on the map I saw that I recognized.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't have a name for this particular village because I didn't know it was going to be important.
Surprise!
Name everything, plan for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, with you guys, if I don't have 8 maps that are just waiting to be used, then we'll never have a proper battle map, and you'll always be asking, well, where am I right now? Because none of you can picture anything in your heads.
Not true.
It's all in your mind, man. But anyway, Michael is able to get you a few miles away. I know there's nothing in your head. I've seen there. It's pretty empty. Michael can get you close to the village. It takes you a few hours to walk there.
All right. Yeah.
But I guess I should be asking a question. Rihanna, what do you look like right now?
Oh, I haven't been to this village, have I?
Not to your knowledge.
You know what? I'm not hiding from Azir and Victor anymore, so I don't really disguise myself unless somebody tells me it's in my best interest. So I look like a me.
Okay. Are you still keeping the necklace on, or did you attune to something else?
Oh, the scrying one?
Yeah.
Oh, I always keep that on. I have not taken that off.
Okay. All right. So, I think I actually do have at least a little bit of a farming village. I'll just give us something for a map. Let's try this one. Okay, that'll work. So yeah, it's just a simple little place. It was close enough to the water that they were able to start, getting some trade in. Some ships stop by. There's not a whole lot here, but it's growing quicker than some places.
Cool.
Okay, let's find the tavern inn place where this would have been.
Wait, hold on,
posted.
Brianna.
Yes, Trevor.
Didn't Jonja get both of these posters from this village?
I don't know. I wasn't really aware of what was going on when.
Because if your poster was from this village, maybe you should change yourself a little bit till we know what's going on.
Least into
Okay,
a different.
What?
Basically, I'm just gonna make myself look like a female, much better looking version of Michael.
So you're now Michael's twin sister, Michelle.
Yes.
Give myself inspiration for that one.
No, it's not. It's not just. It's not just the name Michelle. It is Michelle. You have to do the head switch.
Oui.
Michelle.
Okay, that being said, you managed to avoid that pitfall by changing your appearance.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I didn't say it was a good thing. I was going to have fun. But
I was gonna say I wasn't worried, but okay.
But you can walk into the town. There is like a job board that started to be set up. So like there's some people who are saying like bring paying so much for leather to make armor, and they're trying the town is they're trying to grow into an actual town apparently.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, there also includes missing people, and you do see that there is one for information relating to the location of the Tabaxi Janja. It actually does say intact, but does not specify alive. And then there is one for Rihanna that says missing. And there is a reward for information that can lead to her. I don't want to say retrieval, but to finding her.
Whereabouts?
No, it really just says, to speak to, in this case, it says to speak to Izza.
No. I mean, as in that's the type of word that you're looking for.
Oh.
For
Well, no, in
regards
this
to
case, it's
location.
not like her whereabouts, like information to, reward
anyway.
for information for finding her. That leads to her being found.
This village is not familiar to me. Who would be looking for me in this village?
Either your son or somebody else, or
Who did you leave
guy
your
that-
son with?
We have not made a lot of friends.
That's very true. My son was left with family friends.
Would any of them know Izza?
I don't know.
What about your friend that tried to kill Victor?
Malik? I don't even know where he is.
Oh.
Sadly, I haven't heard from him forever.
I can send him a message.
Yeah, you met him once, so you can do that.
Sure. Might as well.
I do so. I send a message to Malik going, "How are you? Where are you?"
Okay. This is probably the strangest reply you've ever gotten back, but it's like getting static. It's the same case, like, to put it in phone terms, which is the best way I can describe it. It's like, somebody picked up the line, but then doesn't say anything.
I got nothing. I got just static from it. That's not good.
Yeah,
never
no,
good.
that's not good. Anyway, we got to figure out what this is first. Let's ask around for this Izza.
Okay. It's not too hard. There's an older woman who's like looking through the list of people. Like, there's people who have traveled through town. People are trying to leave messages for loved ones, so she's there scanning through the list, and she's like, "Oh, Izza, she always stays," and she'll point you to a small boarding house on the other side of town. Describes her as a 15-year-old redhead girl who's always wearing a pretty sundress.
Okay. Does she live here?
Well, she's been staying here for quite a while. A few weeks at least.
Okay.
I then point to the
Thank you.
pirate symbol as well on Jonja's poster that we have and go, "Would you happen to be able to tell us who this symbol belongs to in regards to crew and birthing?"
That's one of the trade ships that comes in. She kind of has a little bit of a worried look when she reads that particular one. But they might be back in a few weeks. They just left the other day.
Was this a crew member of theirs, or just somebody they're concerned about? Do you know?
Oh, I'm not really sure. I don't deal with that particular crew.
No problem.
Is there a particular reason why you're just a little bit on edge for that, or are they?
They're not very polite, and to be honest, they scare me a little bit, so I stay away from them.
Fair enough.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you. You take care, and we'll see you in a bit.
No, I hope you find whoever it is you're looking for.
Maybe a little harder for me.
There's so many lost people these days. And she goes on about her business, and you start heading in the direction that she said you would be most likely to find Izza. And sure enough, outside you do see a young redhead girl. She's, sort of talking happily to people.
Izza,
Yes.
I hear you're looking for somebody. I glance at the poster and I got Rihanna.
Oh, yes. Do you know where I can find her?
Well, do you know, and I'm actually, my friends and I here, we're helping locate people, so I just need a little bit more than what the poster tells me. And as I'm talking to her, I'm gonna, just out of curiosity, use my divine sense there.
Okay.
Actually, does she actually appear to me as a normal human? Because I've got true sight active all the time.
So that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. No, she's not setting off any of your senses, Trevor. And
Okay.
Michael, yeah, you see a normal girl.
So, like, is she a relation to you? Like, family
Well,
friend?
she's sort of a friend of a friend, and I was just asked to keep an eye out for her.
Okay. Could I inquire about your mutual friend at all?
Well, I
Just out of
kind of have to
curiosity.
keep that one, I can't really be spreading that information around. I'm sorry. It's for her own good.
Oh, is she in trouble?
Well, we just don't want the wrong people finding out. It's just to make sure everybody stays safe. I mean, I realize how suspicious that sounds. I really do. But, there's a lot of shady people, and it seems like when some of these boats come around, more people turn up missing. So I'm trying to be careful about who I tell what to.
Well, don't worry. I'm actually a paladin, so it's my job to protect people from shady.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. But like I said, I was just asked to try to find Rihanna for a good friend.
Fair enough.
I'll lean into her a little closer and kind of whispers like, "Is Malik looking for her?"
And she just sort of turns back and is like, who's Malik? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so rude. I didn't get your names. I'm Izza. She puts her hand out.
I'll take her hand and shake her hand. Say, "I'm Michelle."
I take her hand afterwards and I go, I'm Michelle's twin brother, Michael.
Actually, she never really lets go of Rihanna's hand, as she just gets this wide smile on her face and says, "You thought you could trick me." And all of a sudden, that arm transforms into a giant dragon's claw as she wraps it around you. And that's where we're going to call it a night.
No!
Goddamn polymorphed red dragons.
I didn't say red dragon.
I thought it was a brass dragon.
I will say that you do see it is a copper dragon.
Oh, copper dragon.
We'll be back in 2 weeks.
They're one of the funner metallic dragons, though. All they do is want to tell jokes.
Well, we'll just talk about that later because I'm trying to wrap things up here. So we'll be back in a couple of weeks. Hope everyone has a good one. Stay safe, stay healthy, all that good jazz. And we'll see you next time.